This is a topic that has never been discussed before. At least I haven't seen any video where anyone is concerning about this. Those little screws here, they are hidden secretly. But these screws, they are important to align those rollers. These rollers, if properly aligned, define a 90-degree angle of this bar. Look at this. If I force this a little bit upwards here, you see, take a look here. It doesn't take much to lift up the whole construction here. Of course, there is play within this thread here, but we have the gravity, the natural gravity that will force downwards. So our whole construction will rest safely within the flanks here. But what happens if you don't adjust those rollers properly? Then you will have a force maybe introduced from the other side or from this side that will tend to lift up this side a little bit. And if this force that will lift up this side a little bit is stronger than the natural gravity, then we will have this part on this side going upwards and not resting safely anymore within this flanks from this thread. So therefore, it is so important to adjust those properly. And by that, I don't mean to adjust the extruder. On the other side here, there is this extruder that we all know how to adjust so that everything goes smoothly. But take a look at this alignment here first. How to do that? I'm introducing a way how I do it today. So I have placed my dial indicator here right beneath the nozzle. And look what this. You see, I thought my printer is well adjusted. You see, this is half a tenth of a millimeter. So see what happens here. And you see what is bad? It stays like this. You see, from here, it doesn't jump back. It stays like this. And if I do this, it also stays like this. This is 1/10 of a millimeter difference. The alignment of these two rollers here defines the angle of the beam. Now imagine, like those rollers are not adjusted well. For example, they tend to force the beam maybe a little bit upwards, like this. And those rollers here also tend to push the beam a little bit upwards. So the pretension from those rollers against those rollers, they subtract a little bit. So whom of the both is stronger? And this decides where to move. And this is the effect that we see here. It keeps staying depending on where I push it. And we have the gravity, of course, we have the gravity that works against, so the gravity pushes it downwards. Now imagine this extruder here. We have the motor to drive this extruder, carrier here. The motor is pretty heavy, and so this side is very heavy, this side isn't. And so now the extruder, if this extruder is moving here, then the whole beam, gets lighter here from the gravity, so it can tend to lift up a little bit while the extruder moves here, it moves up a little bit, the extruder drives here, now we have the more gravity over here, and it gets down. Depends on the pretension we have here. This is a topic that has never been discussed before, at least I haven't seen any video where anyone is concerning about this bad construction type. Okay, so the way I do it is to adjust it, at least somehow, is that I will push the heavy extruder here, I will push it to the left side. So then I will loosen the one extruder roller over here, and I will loosen one of these rollers, either this or this, just by this screw, so that I only have attached on this side here one roller, just to keep it here in place a little bit. But with loosening this extruder and this roller here, I have no pretension because only one roller is in the carrier engaged here right now. And then I will adjust the two rollers over here so that this beam gets really 90 degree and parallel to the bed. So I will measure here, will measure there, so that I have this beam really 90 degree level here. Okay, if this is fixed, then I'm pretty sure that this side is okay. Then I will go here and I will take the left, also I will take the one roller that I moved out before and just screw it carefully against the beam until it touches with a tiny little bit of pretension, as all the rollers are. And only then I will use the extruder here to press against. And in that case, as much as possible, I have made sure that we don't have any pretensions here working against each other.